One of my favorite quotes was from one of the Rocky movies when Rocky was talking to his son on the side of the street. He said, "Son, it's not about how hard you hit, but it's how much you can get hit and keep moving forward." And the quote continues on, but I love that section of the quote of the movie because it really applies to life. Like, life is hard. We get punched in the face. Things happen to us that are just not fair. Just events happen in our life that are really hard. We get punched in the face by life all the time, and we have to keep moving forward. But there was one thing as I'm growing my business that when I think about this quote, there's one thing that I would add, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. One thing that I would add to this quote is that I would add something like this. It's not about getting back up when you get knocked down. Anybody can learn how to do that. Persist through life. We all have that ability. But it's learning how to punch back and win the fight when you get back up. That's what's important. Because I don't want to get punched all day, man. I don't want to get hit all day. I don't want to continue to get punched, knocked down, get back up, punch. At some point, you got to punch back. At some point, we need to get up and start throwing our own punches back at life so we can go win. You don't win continuing to get beat up like crazy. At some point, enough is enough, and you're laying on the canvas, and they've already counted to 10, and the fight is over. Okay? So sometimes we need to learn how to get back up and throw some punches. So here are 3 things that you need to do to change your mindset on business so you can get back up and start throwing some punches. Number 1, acknowledge that business is war. Business is war. I'm not trying to lower anything war. I'm just using the war as it's a fight, right? Business is a fight, okay? Not all people have your best interest at heart. There are some people in this world who are not here to help your business. They're here to either profit off your business, take advantage of your business. What you need to do is you need to be skeptical before you're trustworthy, right? Let's just make an example. You're in a war zone, okay? People are interacting with your business, okay? You need to see and feel people out if they're going to be an ally for your business or if they're going to be the enemy. You need to find out who's the ally, who's the enemy. Best way to do that is it just takes time. The longer that you're talking to a person, the longer that you're talking to a potential client, you're going to find out if they're an ally, if they're being honest with you, if they're being trustworthy, if they're disclosing everything that they're doing. That's one thing I've noticed in my business is people who are usually lying to you, who are the enemy. That's you exposing your business to a potential lawsuit, exposing yourself to a potential lawsuit because you're interacting with a shady character. What I've learned is if somebody is not telling me everything and they're being very vague, I'm going to ask them, can you tell me more? Why are you not being very specific on this? And if they get really defensive, that's probably not somebody you want to do with in business, that you want to do business with, okay? So you need to find out who's an ally. Allies have nothing to hide. They're open. They'll tell you anything. Enemies have stuff to hide because they're hiding how you could get screwed over by them. Business is war. Number 2, business is not fair. Not everybody plays by the rules, okay? Some people will cheat and steal to win. Your competitors may cheat and steal to win. They may not abide by the law. They may do things shady to win, and you've probably seen these people. But what happens is you should not go do those practices because you're in a business for the long run. The person who's here today, gone tomorrow, is doing shady stuff. That person will not persist because eventually the mistakes that you make, the illegal activities that you're doing, eventually they catch up with you. And when they catch up, you're out of business for good. So sometimes your competitors, even though they're cheating, they're not playing by the rules, they're doing things illegally, sometimes you just got to wait them out. That sometimes the best way to beat the person that you're fighting against is to let them beat themselves. Is to let them chase you around the ring. They're exhausted, they collapse over, and they pass out. So some of your competitors that are doing shady stuff and you're like, this isn't fair, this is horrible, just wait. They'll go out. Just wait. Something's going to happen. It's going to knock them out of business. Business is not fair. but eventually it becomes fair for you. Number 3 here, business only rewards execution. And let me explain this. It's not effort, right? You need to put in a lot of effort. You need to work hard, but you need to be strategic with what you're doing. Somebody could open a business, work hard all day long, but they're not working on things that are executed into business growth, executed into business revenue. What I mean by that is, hey, we're not going to spend a whole day working on our mission statement. No. Maybe when you have 70 employees, work on the mission statement, put it on the wall, everybody, oh, it's so cool. That's for somebody else. That's for your HR department. Once you have it, for them to feel good about themselves, create a mission statement. You, as an owner, you get rewarded by your execution, by actually doing it, by doing things, figuring it out, tinkering with your business, executing, and getting revenue in your business. That's it. Business doesn't reward those who show up. Yes, you need to show up, but you got to execute. You will not win in business unless you execute. That means, hey, at some point, let's say you're starting a window washing business, right? At some point, you got to go knock on doors to get clients. You got to go do the sales things. You can sit there and organize your cleaners and do everything like, I'm ready to start my business. You worked really hard that day, but you didn't execute. Execution is creating revenue. Execution is a fancy word of saying sales. You need to go get sales to be successful in business. So life is rough, business is rough, but for you to win in business, you need to be strategic. You need to acknowledge that business is war. You need to acknowledge that it's not fair. You need to acknowledge that business only rewards execution, okay? Because if you don't acknowledge these things, you will not find success in business, okay? Please like and subscribe. Thank you.